Employers who go to the trouble to create employee handbooks usually do so to communicate to employees what is expected of them. But is your handbook doing its job? We review hundreds of employee handbooks for members each year, and here are some things we see that make your handbook less effective. One that comes to mind is the kitchen sink handbook. This is the handbook that just grows and grows. Every time something happens that isn't covered in the handbook, a new policy is created. And before you know it, your handbook is a lengthy tome that I can assure you is not doing its job because employees are not reading it. You may even have a hard time keeping track of what's in there. When we review long handbooks, and I consider a long handbook more than 40 pages, we may make suggestions of items that can be combined, condensed, or removed altogether because they're not needed or because they're better placed in other documents, like orientation materials, supervisor's manuals, or internal operating documents. Another thing we see is excessively formal handbooks. If your employee handbook is supposed to be a communication tool to your employees, it should communicate at an all-employee level. And since I'm sure you prefer to spend your time on things other than deciphering handbook policy language, it also helps you if your handbook is clear and concise. I think at one time, some HR authority created a recommended format for handbooks that included a purpose, policy, and a procedure for each item. This is neither required nor is it needed, and it results in a fair amount of redundancy. Our recommendation is that you stick to summary guidelines that are written for and apply to all employees. Lastly, we sometimes see the borrowed handbook. This is where the organization is using a handbook created by or for another organization. And I think you can anticipate what I'm going to say about this handbook. Unless your organization is just like the one you borrowed the handbook from, and most often it's not, your handbook may not be doing its job. You can end up with policies that don't apply or that don't make sense in your organization. If you think your handbook might not be doing all it could for you, contact us. We're here to help. We have sample handbooks and policies that can be customized for you on our website at employerscouncil.org. We also have a half-day class on employee handbooks, and we review handbooks as part of your membership. We recommend that we send your handbook in for review every couple of years to be sure it stays current.